Alright, hello and welcome back to Our Life Beginnings and Always. We are on to our next moment in the DLCs, and we are on to summer work. So I am so excited to keep going. We've only got 3 more and then we're on to the end of summer. I can't believe it, but let's get into it. We still got some to go. Right into it. You stared out the window, watching the scenery pass by as your mom drove down the quiet streets of the leisurely place. A singer crooned sweetly from the radio, turned low enough that you could block it out if you wanted. You turned away from the window when your mom suddenly spoke up. Well, kids, are you excited to be going to the library? Yeah, I can't wait. I love going to the library, but I like going to, chapters. Mom laughed, catching your eye in the rearview mirror and winking. I don't know why I asked. I already know how you feel about it. You hadn't liked going when you were a kid and your parents made you visit the library with Elizabeth, but you felt differently now. What about you, Cove? You're part of the conversation, too. I work better there than at home. It's good we're going, I think. Well, I'm happy this will be of use to you. Just make sure you're not distracted by one another. That would defeat the purpose of the trip. She grinned over at you briefly, so you knew she was kidding and meant nothing by it. Mom focused on driving, humming along with the radio under her breath. You went back to staring outside. As you passed one street, you caught a glimpse of someone in brightly colored clothing, passing out balloon animals. It sparked a faraway memory, and you felt your lips twitch up before consciously remembering it. Remembering what? How long ago was it that you and Cove watched the amazing Alexander performing magic tricks? Oh yes, back when we were kids. It's interesting because we get to reminisce as well, like we remember these things happening and going through them. Hey, Cove, do you remember that one? Give yourself. Remember that one guy? Maybe I do. Alexander, the amazing Alexander, gave us dolphin balloons for free. At the reminder, Cove smiled faintly. Oh yeah, I wonder if he's ever there now. Maybe we should go more often to check. Maybe. You couldn't help the way your own smile curled up higher at the sentiment. You wanted to say something else, but you couldn't quite think of what, and so just settled back into your seat. When the silence filled the car again, you returned your attention to the window. Just gonna double check. Yep. It's an absolutely gorgeous day. You leaned your face to the sunshine, tempted to close your eyes as the gentle rays warmed your cheeks. Jamie? You lifted yourself up a bit more, seeing your mom twisting her torso to face you, confused from the front seat of the car. Next to you was nothing. Cove's door was already open. You had reached the destination before you even realized it. I was asking what time should I pick you two up? Oh, 4 should be okay. That should give you enough time to finish your summer assignments, or at least make a large enough dent. Who gets summer assignments? That's just cruel. You should just let people have their dang summer. Thanks, Mom. You walked out of the car, remembering to grab your backpack at the last second. Alright then, have fun, you two. We will. You closed the door, giving a little wave. She waved back. You were going to make sure that you understood the material forwards and backwards, or else your grades might not be yeah, there was a little mess up there. What you need them to be. The two of you went right to the door of the library. Cove reached it first and tucked it open, stepping inside. He kept it propped open so you could pass through behind him. The air was much cooler inside the building than it had been for the few seconds you spent outdoors. The space was filled with the soft din of papers being moved and whispering voices. Hey, you seem kind of distracted on the ride here. Just enjoying the day. I'm excited to see there. Want to walk around for a bit. Just enjoying the day. Cove looked dubious at the vague answer. Okay. What? Don't you think it's nice out? Your study buddy was standing at the front of the library by a long rack of magazines. Predictably, he was flipping through one with various sports players on the cover, looking intense enough to burst off the page. His head snapped up when you walked over, beaming wildly. Hey, Jamie. Cove. Hi. Were you waiting for a while? Not super long. Derek put the magazine back in its place. Then he gestured to the space at his side. Most of the tables were empty, only a few people leaving 3 books. There's plenty of room. In unspoken agreement, the 3 of you started moving towards the seating area, Derek taking 2 steps for every one of Cove's. Oh, guess what? I'm pretty sure I've mastered the fake shot. I'll show you some other time. Derek took over to gauge the level of interest. Do you know it? Soccer's not really for me. How does it go? Darren's eyes flashed with excitement as he explained. Well, you move the ball like you're going to go one way. Then, he demonstrated by running a few steps ahead, showing off some fancy footwork. You do it like this, so it does it like that. You laugh, bobbing your head at his attempt to get the trick across with no ball. Shh. The three of you looked over the checkout desk. The librarian stood behind it and was wearing a deep frown. Felt bad you were apologetic. You didn't think it was a big deal. I never really think it's a big deal, but I feel bad disturbing other people. You ducked your head, embarrassed by the reprimand. You're in the library now. You should have known to keep your voice down. Derek scratched his cheek, choosing not to let that derail things. So, what are you guys working on? What weren't you working on? That's a weird phrase. There were some things you had gotten started with. You had yet to start a single assignment, sadly. You had yet to start a single assignment because you didn't feel like it. What weren't you working on? Yeah. Oh, I get it now. What weren't you working on? You had started work on most of your assignments, not wanting to leave them until the last minute. You hadn't decided which to focus on this afternoon, though, so you had brought all of them. Who knows? There was a chance you would be able to finish all of them, or so you hoped. Yeah, it's always nice if you have to do assignments and finish them early, then you have the rest of the summer. I think I'll work on my history. I've got some math problem we work on. Okay, I don't know. Ugh, let's work on history. I'd rather do that than math. We had to do this timeline thing. It made sense to work on that while you were here, since you'd probably need to consult the reference books. Ah, yes. Actually, good idea. There's a summer reading too. I have to go through an assignment book, but I'm going to do that later, since it doesn't need extra references or anything. What about you two? I've got a few worksheets. They look pretty easy, but my school gave us 3 books to read. Can't they stick with just one? I'm also doing the timeline. Y'all found a table close to the tall bookshelves and set up camp. Within seconds, pencils and folders and books were strewn out on the surface. Focus on your work, you doodle. You just looked up and again. Focus on your work. There was no time to lose. You were at the library with people you knew, and you couldn't afford to let that distract you. You checked the requirements on the homework sheet your teacher had given you, then opened up your textbook to the page you needed. After some time, Cove shifted in his seat, twisting his back as if trying to work knots out of it. Feeling antsy? Pay enough attention to Cove to recognize when he was no longer feeling comfortable. Yeah, I'm gonna wander around for a bit.
Talk to you later.
See you. I'm gonna stay here. I'm making good progress. I'll come with you. I'll stay. We'll go with him. You might as well take the opportunity to refresh yourself before getting back to work. Two of you strolled away from where you had been working. Your eyes roamed over the titles of books as you passed. Some were dull, some intriguing, and others just strange, but you didn't spot anything that made you pause and pick it up. Looking for something? Reading assignment is more than enough, always. No, but something's right. Yeah, reading assignment right now would be more than enough. Just kind of fun to look at all the titles. I might go out of here, if there's enough time. He's going to remind you of the clock ticking away. Even after you finish your work for the summer, the countdown to the new school year would still be on track. But you know, we'll be back at class. Yeah, we just got out and it's almost here again. I'm looking forward to going back. Cove rubbed his arms, drawing your attention to the scar he'd earned as a reckless kid, with his far-off gaze. Not really, I don't want summer to end. I wish everything wasn't always decided for me. I want to grow up already. Cove didn't feel safe knowing it was others who really determined what his life was like. You understood that much. Touch him softly, you smiled supportively, you shrugged casually. Aw, poor guy. Instinctively you reached out to him, your thumb stroking the back of his hand in a way you hoped was comforting. But there's a chance we could end up in the same classes. That would be nice. He nodded, glad that he was cheering up some. Trust Cove to look on the bright side. I'd like that. A smile spread across his face, twinkling his eyes. What about you? Do you want to go back to school already? Yeah, I'm ready for school to start. No, I don't want summer to end either. I like summer, but I'm ready to go back to school when I've got it. I don't know. I always never minded going back to school. I was excited, but it is nice to have your breaks. And you enjoy them a lot as you get older, too, when you actually get breaks from things. It made you stressed just thinking about it. Cove nodded, obviously getting where you were coming from. There was really no getting away from the topic of school right now. It prompted you to think back to the classes you were in. You pursed your lips. History class was one you were looking forward to. English class was enjoyable. Math class kept your attention. Science fascinated. You wanted to do your own art. I've always loved English and even took extra classes in English, and I took extra communications in English in college as well. So English for sure. You liked the books you had to read in English class. The writing assignments were engaging too. History class was when you're... A history class I didn't mind. And art. Wanted to roll in art, yeah, for sure. One mandatory art school, but you definitely able to participate, because I did some of that, and yeah, that's about the ones I was super excited for. Each lost in your own thought, you continued to stroll through the library for a little while longer, until Cove caught your attention again. We should probably head back. Yeah, let's go. Before you could take a step back, Cove cleared his throat, avoiding your gaze. Thanks for listening before. Anytime at school, you're welcome. Don't make habit of it. Anytime. Cove smiled, his cheeks pink. You jerked your head towards where Derek had been left studying. Time to get back to work. Cove and you rejoined with Derek and settled back in as quietly as you could manage. Work continued as normal from there. Sound of shuffling dragged you out of your head. You looked up, surprised to see Derek packing up. You're done? Derek casually shrugged, but you could tell he felt proud to be the first finished. Uh-huh. Told you it wasn't anything hard. Wish mine was that easy. Wasn't even worth coming to the library for that. What were you going to do now? Guess wish mine was that easy too. Want me to look over it? Maybe I've got some tips that'll help. That'd be great, thanks. Nod your head yes, no thanks, no. Yeah, sure, why not? With a smile, Derek leaned over your part of the table. He took some time to get to the gist and the point you in the right direction before turning it back over to you. Derek leaned on the back of his feet. Okay, I'm gonna look around while you guys finish. See you. Bye. See you. Later on, Cove shifted in his seat, closing his book as he looked over the notes he'd been taking. Glancing away, you contemplated what you had done thus far, too. You had finished everything, you had finished most of your assignments. You say there was about half you had left, you still had a long way to go. I usually would be... I assume if we were already working on stuff, then most of them are done. You're pleased with what you accomplished. Next time you could focus on what you had left. Derek's advice made it easier in the end. Are you about ready? It's almost 4. Yeah, I think so. Come on. The both of you gathered up your books, and after returning the ones you'd used for reference to their proper shelves, set off to find wherever Derek had wandered off to. He was in the biography section. His back was to the two, one hand above his head and the other supporting himself against the shelf, as he strained to grab one of the books. Hey Derek, we're ready. Oh, okay. He answered with the sound of your voice, then up towards the shelf he was trying to reach. That was a struggle you knew all too well. Do you need help with that? Derek frowned, eyes flickering the Cove just for a second before shifting to look at the floor. Yeah, thanks. Which one? Derek directed Cove towards the book he wanted. It was an autobiography of someone you'd never heard of before. Then the three of you moved to the front of the library to wait for your rides. You stood close to the window and let out a content sigh, feeling the rays warm you from the slightly chilly library interior. Wish your assignments were more exciting. You started to space. Got any plans after this? Gonna work on my technique. Can't get rusty while school's out. The answer was inevitable. Technique of what? Football. How about you two? The words you two echoed in your mind. You knew what Derek meant, but why was it bringing a smile to your face to be linked with Cove, even in the most tenuous circumstances? Nothing planned. Me neither. Oh, that's my dad's car. Derek lifted a hand away, pushing the door open and heading towards the blue pickup truck waiting in the parking lot. See you later, Jamie. Bye, Cove. You watched Derek jog off before scanning the area for your mom. Did you get everything done? Almost. I saw you're basically done. You smiled impressed. You felt pretty good about that. I feel like I'll need to come back to the library again before summer's over. I'll come with you. I still have some books to read anyway. You smiled at the idea. Despite not working on the same thing, it'd be nice to have some company. I'm good with that. Hey, do you want to do something with me after this? Oh, sure. Cove seemed eager towards the offer. You hadn't exactly expected him to say no, but the agreement still made you happy. Two of you smiled at each other. Cove looked away for a second, and so you did too, fidgeting with the hem of your shirt. It wasn't long before you spied your mom's car coming down the road. There she is. Time to go then. You climbed in the car, sliding into your usual seats and buckling the belts. Hey kiddos, did you get a lot done? Yeah. The car shifted into action and you watched as the library shrunk into the distance. It wouldn't be the last time you saw it this summer. Even better, you were going to have good company with you. You're already counting down the days. You fielded questions from Mom while you try to juggle a conversation with Cove. When she learned you two were planning on returning, she immediately offered to give you a ride next time. You continued to answer Mom's questions about what you've been working on, then told her about your plans to stick with Cove after getting back. There was something knowing in her smile that made you pause just for a moment. But soon after the trip was over, you would arrive back at your neighborhood. Cove would run over to his house real quick to drop off his stuff. You also made a pit stop to put your backpack away before heading out again. The two of you regrouped in the middle of the road, halfway between your houses. With everything wrapped up, you could now freely enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Conversation resumed as you both began to walk down the street together. The afternoon came and went, dinner was eaten, and you were cleaning up the dishes left behind from it. Cove had elected to stay for a meal today. He passed you a couple plates to rinse in the sink, even though he didn't have to. Cove asked to do at least something to help. You scrubbed the last of them and let out a satisfied sigh. Okay, they're done. I'm going upstairs now. You addressed your guests for the evening. Are you going to come with me? Yeah, I don't have to go back until later. Take it easy, kids. Thanks for your help. When you got back to your room, you noticed your backpack from earlier. You figured it would be best to unpack the stuff you needed before going to bed. Cove plopped into your desk chair and spun it around a bit as he got comfortable. He watched you contentedly as you walked across the room. He didn't need or expect you to try to entertain him constantly. It was just nice to be near each other, even when nothing was going on. You emptied your bag under the bed and sunk into the comforter. With that, you started to sort through books and paper packets. Not all of it were things you needed anytime soon. A small pile of the most important assets began to grow at the side of your backpack until you'd gone over it all. You'd actually finished flipping through the contents, but that wasn't all of your work. Stanley pulled the opening closer to you and peered inside. A second look through commenced, and then a third, and then you began to open the smaller pockets. You were missing your history assignment. Jamie? By this point, Cove could tell something was wrong. That was part of your summer work that you had gotten done, and now it was gone. It hadn't been that noteworthy before, but the bag wasn't really zipped when you had first begun to look through. The work could have fallen out somewhere if you had it in the first place. You were upset by the revelation, but made yourself stay calm. You started to panic. All you could do was shrug. The stress level shot up. Stay calm. You caught the problem early. There was still time to make it right. You couldn't lose your head. My history work isn't in my backpack. Are you worried? Cove jumped out of his seat. Oh crap, is there somewhere we can look? The bag was kind of open, so he winced sympathetically. That left a lot of options for where it might be, most of them bad. You resolved to inspect the spot the backpack was originally left in. It couldn't hurt to look. With nothing in sight there, you expanded the search to the rest of the space. Cove did his best to stay out of your way while keeping an eye open for your missing work. It's fruitless effort. Your assignment wasn't there. Let's check downstairs. It might still be in your house someplace. Fine. Well, hello, Gunn. Is everything alright? What was going on? You gave a rambling explanation, so you answered her with a raised voice. Yeah, explain what's going on. I unpacked my bag and one of my assignments wasn't there. Sweetie, I'm so sorry. What's missing? An assignment for school from the library today. Mom's eyebrows raised with concern at the answer. That's a pickle. I'll call right now. I think they might still be open. Thanks, Mom. Don't worry about it. That's not gonna help. You let her go without a word. Yeah, thanks. Just leave it to me. Cove, honey, can you tell us if was anything you noticed? You were with Jamie, right? I saw the assignment when Jamie had it at the library. I don't remember her putting it away, but I'm pretty positive there was something left on the table when we were done. There was nothing left on the table when we were done. He spoke why can I not say that word? Resultingly. Before now, he hadn't considered that something might have been left behind. You had felt the same when leaving, though it was hard not to second-guess things now. Your mom re-entered the scene a few minutes later. The look on her face is not promising. So I got a hold of one of the librarians. They don't have any papers with your name on them. Not that they could see anyway. I'm sorry. Thanks for trying. Of course. Sorry it was a bust. It's not your fault. Jamie, hey, let's go over to my house. I can check my bag. Maybe I took it when we were packing up and didn't notice. Good idea. Things are getting heavy here with your mom's worry. Maybe he needed to get away from it, or maybe he thought you needed to change to get away from it. Let's go. Cove nodded and made his way to the door. Your mom stood by with creased brows. Take care, kids. Good luck. Bye, Moms. You basically made the trip across the street. In less than a minute, you were going through the threshold of Cove's house. Cove had been in a rush earlier today, too. His backpack was tossed on the couch without a thought. No one had moved it since then. You can sit down or anything. I'm gonna look. He lifted his backpack and unzipped it in a fluid motion. You were left to wait as he rooted around inside with an unexpected level of seriousness. It was off for hospital and took it easy. This is actually starting to get to you now. Took it easy. It wasn't possible to stop Cove on his quest, so you tried to relax in the meantime. Eventually you sighed heavily. Cove's eyes were still tucked away inside, but the search was over. It was obvious there wasn't much of a chance Cove somehow had it this whole time. You just shrugged. That's alright. He dropped the backpack on the floor unceremoniously and spoke with a cautious tone. You're really okay? I really am. I can get another copy and rewrite this stuff. It's nice of you to ask about it. That's cool. I'm glad. Cove laughed lightly, and you noticed a small shake to it. He was clearly relieved you were going to get through this. It was sweet. He had been more upset about the loss than you. I think it's admirable how you can keep it together like that. You were flattered he thought so. You're grateful toward him. Your silence. You were flattered he thought so. Oh. And, I get that it can suck. You put all that effort into work, and especially schoolwork, and you're ready to just be done, especially for the summer, and then you lose it. That sucks. Cove was someone you were close with. That's true, but you hadn't expected him to say you were admirable. It was nice. The moment was interrupted by the piercing ring of the Holden home phone. As they stared at one another with raised brows, Cove's mouth formed a teeny frown. Kira appeared in the hall on the far side of the living room, summoned by the noise. Hey, Cove. Hi, Jamie. I didn't know you were here. She strolled on past, her eyes followed her. Cove's mom answered the call, giving a chipper greeting to whoever was on the other end. A few later, Kira thanked the person and placed the phone down once more. Jamie, that was your mom. She said your stuff was in the car. Really? That's what I was told. Now, I'll just return to the guest room. You can have your privacy. Oh, well, thank God. Cove's face cycled from shock to sour as his mom made her escape laughing. He shook the interruption off and refocused on you. They've got it. As you guessed, this wasn't going to be a big deal. They've got it. Cove smiled crookedly and shrugged one shoulder. I'm surprised we didn't check there first, honestly. You should probably head over to your house. Your moms might want to talk to you. Yeah, my parents really care about me. They kept searching even after you left, and because of that, it all worked out. Cove nodded in agreement. Cove, it means a lot that you stuck with me. Thanks. He brightened up with sparkling eyes. Anytime, Jamie. While stepping towards the door together, there was a thought in your head that you knew to be true. You knew you were going to be there for one another with the small things and when it came to the big things. Aw, that was sweet. That was nice. I think that was a simpler, kind of shorter one, but I liked it. Very cute, very content, very sweet. So that was summer work. We've only got 2 more, and then, I don't know why I'm holding up 4. We've only got 2 more, and then we are on to the end of summer. I'm excited, I'm sad, I'm emotional. We'll see how it goes, and I will see you in the next one.